Recently, the entire collection of the Marvel Netflix universe has been infused within the continuity of the MCU. I had planned on going back and revisiting these series eventually. However, since they've been canonized, I thought it best to include these in my MCU retrospective series. So, if you're new here, like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend if you haven't. Let's dive into Daredevil Season 1. Admittedly, it has been quite a while since I went back to these shows. So long so that when I booted up Disneyplus and hit play on Daredevil Season 1, it felt brand new. There was so much I didn't remember, so much that I feel like I never appreciated enough, and a couple things that I don't think maybe stood up so well over the course of time. First things first, one of the only complaints I have for this show will become a recurring theme with this group of series going forward, and it's that they're too long. 13-hour-long episodes are unnecessary for the stories that these shows tell. Now, Daredevil Season 1, it's near perfect, and this show by some metrics is a slow burn, and it works well that way. That being said, there is a lot in this initial season that could have been condensed into 10 episodes, and that rings true for the rest of these series. In fact, personally, I think 10 episode seasons is the sweet spot. Recently, we've had the opposite issue with Marvel. The series belonging to the Disneyplus exclusive catalog have become unbelievably rushed. And hopefully, Marvel is able to find a balancing point in the near future for these series going forward. Outside of this, and a few silly scenarios where our characters should obviously be able to decipher who Daredevil is, this show is incredible. Charlie Cox is one of the aspects of this show that I feel as though I never fully appreciated. When I think back to my last viewing of this series, I recall thinking that I liked him in this role, but at the same time I felt underwhelmed. I don't know what it was, but this time around, I can't help but think he is perfect casting for this character. And the same can be said for Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Both of these actors were born to play these roles. Cox executes the dual role of the blind yet confident, compassionate, and brilliant lawyer, and the fierce, acrobatic, relentless vigilante exceptionally well. D'Onofrio tugs at your heartstrings as you empathize with this broken and lonely man, aware of his past mistakes, and trying anything possible to become a better man. The man he believes he's destined to be. Both of these men clinging to the same lifelong dream to inspire change in their city, to lift up the less fortunate, and to make their world a better place for everyone. Although this one goal is equally shared, the conflict arises as both men of conviction, hold true, unwavering to their core principles. Matt believes in changing this city through means that he sees morally just, utilizing his knowledge as a lawyer and skills as a vigilante to apprehend criminals and topple their suffocating empires. Fisk, a man who sees what the world is and takes it that way, willing to go to any means necessary to construct the world he sees fit, even if it means shedding more blood, occasionally blood of the innocent, to get there. The best part of this show is the analysis of its characters' moral complexities. Matt's journey throughout this show, trying to discover who he really is, deep down is so compelling. Constantly trying to restrain himself from losing control and crossing the line that so thinly divides him from his enemies. Even though there is a piece of him that believes crossing that line might be the only way to prevail. when he finally embraces the man he's meant to be, the man who stands up to evil and defies its corruption. It's inspiring. Not to mention how this moment runs parallel to the reveal of his official Daredevil costume. It's perfection. Through Fisk, we get the opposite tale, a man trying to escape his past, become the better version of the man that influenced him. It's only after his misdeeds are brought to light and his kingdom is dismantled that his true nature, the one he must accept, is that of the villain. These choices ultimately lead these two men into inevitable conflict, and it's well worth the wait. The showdown between Fisk and Daredevil is brutal. The nimble devil of Hell's Kitchen against the bruising brawler Kingpin. The two men trade blows until both are broken and bloodied, neither wanting to yield, because this isn't just a battle between these two men, it's a fight for the soul of Hell's Kitchen. This whole scene is a culmination of all the incredible and mature action sequences we've seen leading up to. It's a refreshingly dark take on the hero-villain confrontations in this universe so far, and it's disappointing that we really haven't seen Marvel revert back to this tone since these Netflix series were axed. I really enjoy the multifaceted nature of this story. We follow multiple plot threads with Matt, Fisk, Foggy and Karen, and Ben. We also get introduced to the various criminal organizations around the city with Gao, Nobu, and the Russians. They all converge in one grand finale, and the cast that supports this narrative and our two principal characters are fantastic. They all serve a valuable purpose to this story and to Matt and Fisk's journeys. I much appreciated that in the end, Fisk was defeated, but not for good. This season not only being an origin for Daredevil, but also for Kingpin, did too much work setting him up to just be one and done. Daredevil crafted something completely different within the Marvel machine, and produced something new and invigorating. It's really a testament to this show and its creators, as well as the actors and the crew, that it still holds up that way almost 10 years later. This is the type of style I wish Marvel was more open to adopting. We've had so much of the family-friendly version of these characters, and some of it was very good, that's undeniable. But there was a lot of it that wasn't, that could have used the Daredevil treatment. And while I wouldn't call Echo a success, I think it's a good jumping off point to change directions. The execs at Disney have admitted themselves that something has to be done. And everyone is excited for this character, and hopefully more of the Netflix characters to return into the fold. The fans are hungry for a change. Let's just hope Disney and Feige stick to their guns, because even though the past decade, this series and its kin have been treated like the ugly stepchildren of the MCU, I think the bigwigs are starting to realize that this chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe may be one of their best.